Hi everybody, welcome for the battle report. So this is the third game of the Bellum Lacum. As a reminder, we lost 31 the first round, we capped 55 the second round, and now we were playing against Team Jeune Garde de Lyon, which is a solid team. We were on the first third of the table, we could say, so both of us looking to get a win. In the pairing process, we had the choice between me or the Demon against Ogre Khan or Undying Dynasties. We both have the similar estimation, which is negative matchup against Undying Dynasties and positive matchup against the Ogre Khan. We felt the best choice would be to put the demon against the Ogre Khan and myself in the negative match against Undying Dynasties. So we'll see how I can limit his ability to get points against me. His list is basically the 4 monsters, so it's a type of list that we see a lot at the moment. 2 Battle Sphinx, 1 Dread Sphinx, the Shark Guardian, then 2 Big Block, Skeleton and Necropolis. It has 2 units of Archer, 1 unit of Skeleton Entombed, a Scout, and then 3 Cataphract with Special Ambush Magician and 2 Mages plus a BSB. We were playing Sacred Target on Counter Trust, and below you have the spell selection. Matchup analysis quickly. So it's a UD list that can play very aggressively. I played already games against it in the past with my Ogre Khan, and I remember it's a list that can cause a lot of trouble. If you get 4 monsters with high res that can heal against you, either you can deal with them very quickly or it can be a problem. Divination obviously an issue for the Kadim family, who are my best answers against Resilience 8 Sphinx. I don't see a good path to victory. Basically for this main reason, my best tool in the matchup are Overlord and the Kadim family, and the Kadim family are heavily impacted by Master Divination. So it's not going to be as easy to set up good combat. So basically I'm trying to limit his ability to play aggressive. We have the feeling that in the pairing process we have other positive matchup, so this one we don't need to force it, it's rather how to limit it to not lose. Deployment, so as you can see, it's going to be again very uneventful, so not a lot will happen. Basically, it's interesting to analyze on a macro level why and what were the other options. First of all, my opponent is going to win the roll for side. He gives me the impassable here, and he plays his marker, which I think makes sense to not make me, or to make hard for me to get it. But at the same time, this doesn't open the game at all, because I can place mine on the far right and allowing us to play on different part of the map. So I think if we would have placed it more centrally, obviously it would have given him an ability to deploy more centrally. So I think that's the first point. After that, I drop the first turn, so I place the slave here. He plays like the fast carve, then I place another slave, then he plays the big block of skeletons. So now I know that's going to have at least 1 big block on the left. Then I place like the Titan, maybe, and he plays Necro Sphinx, and then I drop for first turn, placing the Paired Weapon Anointed, Great Weapon Anointed, on the far right, the Incarnate, the Bull, Bastion, Infernal Warrior, and on this side he plays the Necro, the Skellies, Dread Sphinx, Battle Sphinx, Shark Guardian, Archer, and the Fast Cav, and the other 2 units are in ambush. So my turn 1 quickly, I'm trying to try on the right flank to be more patient and wait for his ambush to come out and make sure I can get this point easily. I have only 1 scoring unit, and then try to move the Incarnate fast forward on the left. And the rest just getting in position for magic, moving away with the Titan to avoid divination, moving away with those guys because he has too many stuff. At the moment that I deployed them, I felt he plays the Skellies here, but he could have placed maybe more centrally the rest, or even some Sphinx on the far right. And then those guys would have been an opportunity to try to contest it against the Skellies with the help of the Titan. But this didn't happen at the end, so I just need to move away. Won't do much in magic. He's going to re-establish his battle line on his turn 1. Nothing crazy happened as well. My turn 2. So I get into position to avoid his ambush. And here, as you can see, I'm a bit vulnerable here on my back line here, having nothing looking at this part of the map. So I could have turned around. I think the slaves looking that way would have been a better option than looking that way, which is already covered by these units. So I could have looked the slave that way. I think would have been better. Magic, not much will happen as well, and I think now we can analyze his turn 2 is pretty interesting because he got 1 ambush in. It's only 1 ambush. He got only the Serpents, who could have got here That's when he time out with his captain. Basically, his aggressive option would have been to push the 2 Sphinx here, use the fast cav to chaff here, and then push and push, and get the Serpent here in the back. Which basically would have forced me to charge with the Overlord on a Sphinx, most likely turn around the Bastion to get rid of the Cataphract, then here get rid of the chaff, and then hope that I don't suffer too much from the charges that he can get. Potentially move out with the mage and BSB if I need to. But basically that would have been interesting. Then I could have moved around with my Anointed to try to support. Here move with those guys forward to try to support as well. But he decided against it. So he just ambushed right here, as you can see. Meaning not much will happen. Basically he's just going to defend. I'm going to do some magic. And at some point we're going to stop the game. Which is going to be a 10-10 because nobody was able to take points. As you can see, I move away with the unit that suffers some wounds and just move away out of the action. So he wasn't able to get anything without taking risk. And the same here, just move back and back. And I was able to reach nothing, basically. So it ended up being a 10-10. Undying Dynasty is not willing to attack. I think he had an advantage on the matchup. And he could have tried to push towards me more aggressively and deploy also more spread out. He was very, very compact, so not really willing to play the game and try to go for it. So I don't know, again, if it was something due to the pairing or just his feeling on the matchup. The map, I didn't like how it was cut in two by the house. I think my deployment could have been slightly better. I will show you afterwards, but mainly switched in Anointed and Incarnate would have been, I think, better. Turn 2, UD, momentum to open the game and attack. I wasn't set up well, so I was a bit vulnerable. But at the same time, yeah, I would have been intrigued to see how that goes. I think I have arguments to answer also some problems that he would have done. So I would have been very excited to see how that goes. And I lacked a bit the non-fighting scoring unit. Why I'm going to say that is basically one unit of Anointed was stuck to the right just to score. Even if nothing comes out with ambushing on his part, I still needed to keep a scoring on this part of the map, which was a bit annoying. I think deployment-wise, what I could have done is just, instead of those guys here, place them on the right, so I have the 2 scoring on the right to make sure I get this point. Place the Incarnate in a way that I can go right or left, depending on his deployment, and place my Overlord more to the left, switch position between Bastion and the Warriors to allow the Bastion to be closer to his unit. And I think could have been slightly better for me, give me more option to have the Incarnate as soon as possible back in the game. We can expect them, so turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 to be in good position. I'm not afraid in a fight against the Sphinx. So I think the Incarnate were a key piece, were too far away from the action basically. I was a bit afraid that he deployed Sphinx here, but even with the Sphinx, I think with the 2 Anointed together it should be fine. And if there is more than a Sphinx, then the Incarnate can still move to the right. So I think I still had plenty of options to deal with that with such a deployment. Yeah, round-wise, we got what we expected from the KOE and Beastard matchup, but then our Demon Legion wasn't able to win as much as we thought. Was a bit unlucky in the game, so a couple of events happened in the bad way, but we expected him to be able to win a bit more, so that's a couple of points that we missed towards the cap, which is 55. I think we could have reached 50 pretty easily. Have we done better on these 2 tables? So yeah, that things can happen. But overall, a solid win against a good team. Guys, that's all for this battle report. Nothing happened, sorry about that. Next battle will be more interesting, I promise you. Take care, bye bye.